Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are, Blues. Stephen here back with another video. How are you doing today on this Sunday, the 1st of June? 1st of June, Nintendo Switch 2 month, which for me is a very nerdy thing to say, but it's something I'm very excited about. And also transfer month, and also Club World Cup month. Loads of things to look forward to in this fine month of June. What else is coming in the month of June? Season 3 of The Bear, if you're a fan of The Bear. What else is coming? A fair few things anyway. But yeah, Stephen back here. We're talking about the news that's just come out from Fabrizio Romano, his latest. Musty's birthday's in June. Well, there we go. Happy birthday for you in June, mate. You had loads of wonderful things, absolutely loads of things. What else is going on in June? There must be some other cool stuff going on in June. Mario Kart World, of course, which I'm very excited for, given it's on the Nintendo Switch 2, of course, as well. Yeah, but there's going to be lots of here we goes as well this month. I would almost certainly believe that. City back in action in the Club World Cup. I'm expecting a couple of signings, including your Algerian, French wonder kid Rayan Cherki. Finally, looks like he's going to be a Manchester City player. I cannot believe this is actually going to happen. I am like, my hype train is about 90% now. I'm almost certain this is going to happen, and I can't wait. I don't know about fullbacks, by the way, before the Club World Cup. The writing studios just asked me about that. Maybe ait-nouri, I don't know, but I don't know. We'll see on that front. But I reckon Reinders and Cherki are almost certain. Yeah, Father's Day, my first Father's Day actually as well, as a dad of two. That'd be nice. That's a good thing for those in June as well. Not exciting for Switch 2 for overcharging people. Yeah, well, I got my Mario Kart game with the Switch, if that makes sense. So, yeah, it is what it is. I'm a Nintendo nerd. I play him. I'm going to enjoy it. I'll get my money's worth. I'll play the hell out of it. And I'll play more than 80 hours of Mario Kart. So, quid an hour? Yeah, it's worth it for me personally anyway. But yes, let's get on to the news personally. What I say before we jump to that, actually, can you give the video a like and subscribe? I've been absolutely banging out the videos. I really, truly have. Yeah, I've got loads of content on the channel right now. As you've noticed, I've done how many videos over the last few days? I don't know. Several videos. I'm getting live for all the big breaking news when I can, if I'm in the house. And hopefully you're enjoying the content. I think there's going to be a lot of videos, a lot of content on this channel over the coming days, because there's going to be lots of transfers and lots of stuff. Should be a really fun month. So if you want to keep up to date with City news and get some decent informed opinion and a friendly face, give the video a like and subscribe. And put the notification bell or wherever it is, so you get a little bling on your phone, or whoop, whoop, whatever noises. I don't know what notification noise you get on your phone. You might get none, you might get a or something. I don't know. You'll get something. Do it. Subscribe. So let's go to the news anyway. So it's come from Fabrizio Romano's latest round of updates. Where is it? It says here, the Manchester City's Pep Guardiola has been in contact with Rayan Cherki in recent days, while City have also spoken to the player, his agents about contract terms, the project, vision, and more, which is very exciting. The reason it's exciting is because there's been lots of rumours that, Rayan Cherki would not fit Manchester City Football Club. He isn't a Pep player, Pep wants people who only keep the ball and pass sideways and only work really hard and all this kind of stuff and blah, 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 blah. Ignore the fact that Pep let Kevin De Bruyne do what he wants. Ignore the fact that Pep let Messi do what he wants. Ignore those very obvious, massive examples to the contrary. Guess what? It's almost like really good players are allowed to do what they want within reason. Crazy that, isn't it? Crazy that. But, when about special talents get that license, maybe Rayan Cherki is the latest to get that Guardiola treatment. I actually saw I saw a rumour on Twitter from some guys, a bit in the know-y, but he's had a few things confirmed anyway. He's a comp maker, Man City comp maker. I think he's got to be blocked, actually. I don't know what I did to them. I think I might have said something negative about Nunes once and got called out for it. I don't know. But I went blocked from him, but I still see the tweets as his Twitter these days. And that person said that they said a few things recently, that Pep is the one who really wants Cherki, which I'm inclined to believe it, given that they came out before this as well. And I hope it's true. I just hope it's true, because look, I think there is something in this. Like, the thing is about Rayan Cherki is that, as much as we talk about his fantastic ability with either foot, his insatiable dribbling, his flair, and all this kind of stuff, the most impressive aspect for a Guardiola side and for a Guardiola viewing would be the fact that he has the pausa, as they call it, la pausa, which essentially is a Spanish fancy way of saying he can slow the ball down a little bit and control the game, and he knows when to speed it up and when to slow it down. It's what Guardiola's been waiting for Phil Foden to do for an awful long time. Watch any compilation of Rayan Cherki and you'll get the ball on his feet. He'll drive it, he'll draw a few people in, he'll slow it down, and then he'll just speed speed it back up, and he'll just play a couple of passes very quickly as he's sucked in an entire defence, 3 or 4 defenders, and he's found a gap by just knowing when to drift. David Silva was a master at this, an absolute genius at this. Barcelona had multiple in Iniesta, Xavi, Messi could know how to do it as well. The whole Barcelona side was La Porza in a nutshell, like the definition of it. But also, it's not about playing slowly. It's about going slow, fast. It's about those sudden changes of directions. It's about knowing when to do it. And truly great players do know when to do it. Not all. You don't need to be be able to do it to be a great player. But truly great. Lots of true greats do it. Oscar Bob's got a bit of it too. Yeah, it's this slow, quick thing, and knowing it's just David Silva was a master of it, an absolute master of it. When you've got the hammer that is Kevin De Bruyne, he's not a Porza fella, The Gundogan's got a little bit of it too, but not as much as David Silva or even Rayan Cherki either. I think Guardiola loves the idea of this guy and what he could bring to Manchester City. People going about Guardiola as if he's not, football purist. He is. I think Jack Grealish, unfortunately, has given damaged Manchester City's reputation an awful lot. It's accepted, it's verbatim now that apparently Jack Grealish has, was ruined by Manchester City. He was actually this just mercurial player who actually used to score wonder goals and beat several players all at once and single-handedly scored the best goal you've ever seen every single week and was actually just Messi really, but in a Brummy accent. That's what Grealish was apparently. He's fucking lazy. He's absolutely lazy. Look, I went back about a year or two into Jack Grealish just to remind myself what we had and what we'd lost allegedly, to see if Jack Grealish was any different. The only difference between Jack Grealish at Manchester City and Aston Villa was that he didn't have 11 defenders ahead of him all the time. At Aston Villa, he'd be a little bit deeper. There'd be loads of space because they were counter-attacking and because no one defended deep against Aston Villa, and he'd just run forward. And that was essentially the only difference. Whereas Jack Grealish gets the ball, he's got a whole bank of defenders ahead of him at Manchester City. Guardiola does not discourage Jack Grealish to dribble. Jack Grealish isn't a great dribbler. You might go, what? Jack Grealish is not a great dribbler? He was a great dribbler at Aston Villa. No. He was a great ball carrier, which is, I know, he's technically dribbling. Jack Grealish ran past people at powerful strides into space, like the way Morgan Rogers does at Aston Villa. Jack Grealish was very similar that way. The difference is that's not one-on-one dribbling. One-on-one dribbling on a touchline is what Grealish has never been good at. Grealish has also never been a great goal scorer. He's never been a big assist guy, never been a great goal scorer, creates lots of chances and all that kind of stuff. Grealish was a cracking player at Villa, and I think he did really well in spells at Manchester City. And I said past tense because I think he's done at City, but he's never been a great one-on-one dribbler. So I think ultimately it's not Guardiola's fault that he just isn't really suited to play. And I think a lot of this is mentality too, by the way. I think it's very obvious. So essentially what I'm trying to say is Grealish wasn't ruined by Guardiola. He just didn't really fit Man City. His style didn't really suit it. And the space that he needed to be the main man, in a lesser side that he was afforded was what made him look so special. You don't get that at City. He's just one of many. You have to be a De Bruyne level passer. And he just isn't that, or you have to be, a Mahrez level technical ability and goal scorer. He isn't that. He was really good, don't get me wrong, but not great. But anyway, long story short, I mean, Grealish has become accepted knowledge that Grealish was ruined. And everyone's like, oh, Cherki's going to be ruined by Guardiola. Guardiola hates free-flowing players. He doesn't, man. He doesn't. He loves genius, intelligent players who treat the ball well. He loves really smart footballers. And Rayan Cherki absolutely fits that down to a T. He's a mercurial talent. And watching Manchester City slave away against packed defences and really struggle to break down walls, struggle to break down fucking Southampton, probably the worst ever Premier League team. Look, I know there's 1 point in the end, but they probably are the worst ever Premier League team ever. They're all, they said them or Derby, whoever it was. They were abysmal, truly abysmal. We couldn't barely create a chance against them because they decided to go, nah. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Thankfully, it didn't cost us in the end, but genuinely ridiculous. And Rayan Cherki, when you watch him, slow the ball down, these little flicks and tricks. It's the variety of what he brings. Someone's talked about Grealish is why you don't buy Gibbs. No, I don't think Gibbs-white and Grealish are totally different for what it's worth. Grealish's biggest problem, by the way, is his attitude. I pay attention to these things, but Grealish has said, people in general tell you who they are, and Grealish has said multiple times in various interviews how he's not really the hardest working guy in the world. He's not said it directly, but he's gone, Erling Haaland never drinks a bit, and he eats all this pet food, I don't know how he does it, and all this kind of stuff. And he said, I look around the dressing room like, what am I doing here? And he even said after treble, I don't know how I'm going to go from here. I feel like I can complete football. Basically, Grealish has said multiple times that he's sort of like slight imposter syndrome. He said as well that he said very often, many times, how he was insecure about his stats and all this kind of stuff. Grealish might be more talented. Yes, he might be, but Grealish's problem is in his head. Always, we know he likes to drink. We know he likes to party. We know he's got imposter syndrome. Grealish just not suited for elite level football. He said himself that he struggled to find motivation after the treble. Elite players do not struggle to find motivation. They keep going. He's massively got imposter syndrome. I paid attention to his quotes, and I can't recall them verbatim right now, but I remember them. So many times he said stuff, I was like, oh man, he's in his head. Absolutely, he's in his head over it. And like, you can tell he can't get going. Everything I know about Gibbs-white, for what it's worth, Gibbs-white, apparently his teammates, they're all like, he's an insane monster of an attitude. He's a mentality monster. Like, he's obsessed with winning. Like, he wants to work hard. He wants to be the best player on the pitch. He's like Grealish and Gibbs-white are the polar opposites in mentality-wise. So I'm sort of, it's like how, look, as much as we can mock Kyle Walker off the pitch, Kyle Walker on the pitch is an elite level footballer. His mentality was ridiculous. Ridiculous mentality, Kyle Walker. Like, in terms of, like, he wanted to be the best. He trained insanely hard, Kyle Walker, and obviously he matched Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe and Neymar and all those people because he wanted to, because he's a fucking mentality monster. Kyle Walker is an insane professional. Obviously, we know he had his side shows off the pitch, but none of that affected his football. None affected his focus. So it's one of those things where, you talk about the English and all that kind of stuff. Jack Grealish and Kyle Walker, very similar off the pitch stuff, But when it comes to professionalism and focus, miles apart, absolutely miles apart. And that's the point. I think Morgan Gibbs-white is a lot more like Kyle Walker that way. And I think he's more professional and like. But anyway, apparently they all say he's a bit Bernardo Silva-esque in terms of mentality. But we'll see. That's irrelevant. I would like him, but if he doesn't get him, we don't get him. Fair enough. But Rayan Cherki, look, the fact that Guardiola's spoken to him is wonderful. I think it should put to bed the idea that, Guardiola doesn't rate him. I think Guardiola would love a player of that much mesmeric ability. Guardiola has managed some of the most, in my opinion, he's managed the two best passes I've ever seen of a footballer, Messi and De Bruyne. They're absolute geniuses. Look, I'm not going to say Rayan Cherki's those guys yet, but some of the passes that Rayan Cherki's done, the two-footed passes, the precision, the power, the creativity. Some of the assists, man, are De Bruyne-esque. I'm not even kidding. The Messi and De Bruyne-esque. One, I couldn't find it. I tried to find it yesterday on the stream, but there's one where he just drives forward and he does that. He passes it into a channel that no one sees. Honestly, his vision is absurd. Like, it probably will touch, like, De Bruyne, Messi stuff. Like, it maybe won't get that far, but it's miles better than anyone in our squad currently. Seriously, it really is. What's going on with Steve? I'm doing the club's work for them. Why would I do that, man? What's going on with Steve Tompkins here? What's going on? Steve Tompkins having a go at me here. Grealish was one of the main reasons we won the Champions League. No, Grealish was not one of the main reasons we won the Champions League. Grealish was a very good part of the team. I would say that John Stones, Ruben Diaz, that partnership was bigger. I would say Kyle Walker was probably bigger. I would say Gundogan was bigger in that. I would say Kevin De Bruyne was definitely bigger in that. I think Haaland was bigger in that. Rodri was definitely bigger in that. Grealish was a good part of that treble team. He was a very good player. One of the main reasons? Come on, man. I think people have rewritten that season massively. I am not a Grealish hater. I think Grealish is a cracking footballer. I think Grealish has told us many times, and Guardiola's told us many times. Guardiola said, he said, it's up to Jack if he wants it. How many times does Guardiola have to, if you can't read behind the lines, if you can't read between the lines, that's not my problem, unfortunately. Guardiola said publicly many times that Jack has to want it. Come on, man. How can you not read that? I would love Jack Grealish. I think Jack Grealish is a top bloke. I think he's great. I think he's a really good footballer. Jack Grealish, he just can't do it, man. Like, the fact that Jack Grealish has barely played any football this season, and he's barely played any football last season. Like, I don't want Jack Grealish gone from Manchester City. I don't care about if he stay. I want Jack Grealish to focus and play good football. I think Jack Grealish, unfortunately, just isn't cut out for life to be, It'll come out in time, unfortunately. But the fact that we see every 2 months, every month in pictures of him out drinking, he's entitled to do it. But you don't see it for the rest of them for a reason, because they're just not doing it, because the sacrifice is important, And Jack Grealish, I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm not saying I dislike him. I'm not saying I want him to go. I'm just saying there are too many signs to ignore. There's too much smoke. There's a fire there. Look, Grealish will tell you himself. It is what it is. It is what it is, but I think ultimately the fact that Guardiola has so obviously messed up in Guardiola's eyes, and Guardiola keeps saying he's frustrated and all this kind of stuff. Like, come on, what more do we need it? Like, the idea that I don't have it in for any player. And also, it's so funny, by the way, how everyone always thinks that some people are on the, like, it's sort of unintentional reverse ego. Like, when you think people go, oh, you obviously been told by the club to slag off Grealish. Like, do you really think the club give a fuck what any of us think? By implication, if you think the club would tell me to do that, you think they care what the fans think, and you think they care what then you would even think too. They do not care what you think. The club do not care what I think. I've never been told by the club or anyone close to a club what to say about anyone, because they don't care. They just do not care. Like, the club, no one in the media is on the payroll or gets paid to say anything good or bad about Manchester City, because it just doesn't work that way. They don't care. City are $1 billion worldwide global institution. They don't care what Steve Tompkinson or Stephen McInerney has to think about Jack Grealish. They don't need it. So, it's very obvious, guys. So, video's going to get 7,000 views on Jack Grealish. Yes, they do. Ask Bald Steve. They fucked him up because of his views. Oh, did they, mate? I don't know. I don't speak to him. That's fine. No idea, pal. But it's none of my business. But either way, there's difference between if he said things that might be slanderous or something. I don't know. I don't know what you're on about there, mate. So it's none of my business. But the difference is they're not going to me and tell me what to do. They're not going to do that. I've never had that. They don't need it. Anyway, I would argue anyway, they don't need people to have a narrative about Grealish. Grealish creates it himself, unfortunately, in the way that Kyle Walker did. So, any words for the Man City fan who passed away? Shez, I don't personally know Shez. I just know that he is a much-loved guy from lots of great blues. And, yeah, rest in peace to him and his family. Look, there's no age whatsoever. It seems, by all accounts, a lovely man and incredibly popular, lifelong Manchester City fan, as blue as it comes. So, yeah, rest in peace to him. And, of course, much love to all his family. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I don't know the guy personally, other than just it's tragic and awful. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, unfortunately. Yeah, horrible news, sadly. Yeah, so moving on to the stuff about Cherki. Look, it's exciting news, guys. It really is. I think Guardiola knows how to pick a player. I think Guardiola doesn't give the keys to many people, but when he does find someone to give the keys to, he trusts them. I think Guardiola's in on Cherki because I think he recognises a special talent. I think he'll have a role for him. I've seen a lot of Cherki operating on the right for what it's worth, because he seems to be 240. He can play out anywhere. He can make space anywhere. I think he'll start on the right or left, and he'll be told to go wherever he wants to. He might even be given the number 10 role. I don't know, but I think largely he'll be in the front of the attack. I don't think he's got an attitude for what it's worth. I think he's just, I don't think he has. Like, the thing is, they spoke to a few coaches, and a few coaches come out and said he's actually a really nice guy. So I don't know what's going on there. I do definitely get defensive, by the way, when people question my integrity. Like, I've never said anything that anyone's told me to say ever. I just don't know, man. Like, look, I've been saying negative things about City for ages, and maybe that's why I don't work with City anymore. I don't know. I don't work with City anymore. I don't know, but no one's ever said anything to me. Fact is, I don't work with City much these days, and look, I don't care. I'm honest, and myself always have been. NPC says, shout out to Blue Moon, let's launch, boys. What do you mean? What are you referring to, mate? To Blue Moon? To who's Blue Moon? Do you mean Blue Moon Forum? Is a person called Blue Moon just a song, Blue Moon? Let's Launch is like that that guy on Twitter who thinks he's in now, isn't it? Thank you, NPC. Massively appreciated for the super chat there. Yeah, I look, Let's Launch. Blue Moon Rising. Well, Blue Moon Rising, that was a... Opinions on fans saying Foden out. Anyone who says Foden out is genuinely... Look, there is... I just think they're an idiot. No offence. You might be a nice person, but I think you're an idiot if you think Foden out. I think it's that simple. Like, anyone who'd give up on a lifelong Manchester City fan who'd been great up until this season... Like, look, he's been brilliant. He was the player of the year last year. He's had a bad year, man. Like, if you genuinely want Foden out, like, fuck me, man. Come on. Like, how much does he have to give you? Like, he's a City fan lifelong, and he's been brilliant. No, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying anyone who feels that way. Like, I think it's just childish, really. I think it's social media inspired activism. So it's not activism, but it's sort of people who go, it's just kids on Twitter, it's kids on Snapchat, kids on Twitter, kids on this, whatever. It's just kids. Like, there's no. Well, Steve said he had a serious virus confession. Well, there we go. I mean, I'm sure he has been. Some of it's been off this year with Phil, but it's very obvious some of it's been off. Like, Phil Foden clearly has a chance to turn it around if he wants to, you know. But he's too fickle, man. Like, he's too good to just give up on like that. I mean, he doesn't want to give up on. Like, if you don't get rid of one of the best players in the league just because he had a bad year, you know. He's such a talented footballer. So yeah, no, Phil Foden will be back and he'll be great. I have no idea. Someone's just speculated something about his family. I wouldn't really go there, mate. I wouldn't go there because I have no idea. None of us do. But let's not wildly speculate about things that serious, because it's and even though I know you wouldn't mean harm, it's just potentially crass, if that makes sense. So let's not go there. But yeah, well, Phil will be back. He'll be back. Don't worry about it. We will see on that. So yeah, there's also that rumours there about apparently gibbs-white being too expensive, as you saw there. Maybe he will be. I would really like gibbs-white, actually. I think he'd be a really effective Bernardo Silva replacement in terms of. I just wrote Bloom Horizon TV and saw a thumbnail view from 8 years ago. Man, you look so young. I was young then, mate. I've bought a house, got married, and had 2 kids since then, pal. It will age you, and I was about 30 now, nearly 40. So, but yeah, Cherki, I would like him. I would really, really like him at Manchester City. I think he's not obviously a cracking player. I mean, gibbs-white, sorry, I was saying. Gibbs-white, I think he's a really good player, but Cherki would be obviously special. I think Guardiola is a fan. I think this is going to get done this week. I expect the here we go this week. I really do. I think here we go. God, I'm talking the internet terms these days. I expect the signings to be announced this week, and I expect Rangers as well to come in as well. Donnarumma rumours, I don't really take anything on that personally. I'd like it, actually. I'd like a proper goal, a goal preventer. But I'm relaxed with whatever City want to do. Donnarumma, I'm not sure. But then again, I don't know. No idea. I think that's probably their agent drumming up support there. Yeah, ait-nouri has gone a bit quiet. I've not seen anything today, to be honest, mate. I've not seen anything of any substantial note by anyone other than Rangers and gibbs-white now, and of course Rayan Cherki. But I think they probably box these players off and get a feel from. There's also some rumours last night, by the way, about Rodri, wasn't he, as well? I didn't get to do a video last night because I had my tiny son attached to my chest, asleep on me. But he said Rodri's expected to sign a new contract until 2029, take his salary beyond 300 grand. Yeah, look, that'll happen. I think Rodri's going to be fine. Like, I'm one of those people who said I've got no doubt whatsoever that Rodri going to come back and just be great. I just really think he will be. I've got no worries whatsoever. Yeah, Mullock as well coming out and saying, Simon Mullock saying that Tijana Rangers will be this week. That was last night, and looking for a 35 million agreement to sign with Rayan Cherki. Look, by the way, 95 million for Rangers and Cherki. Look, I know we were gutted by Verse. That's a miles better deal. Those two, they both might end up being better players than Verse. They might be better players already. They're at least very close, if not the same, if not equal. And they're going to be at 20 million cheaper combined than the pair. It's ridiculous business. Ridiculous business. I honestly believe they're as talented or as useful to Man City as Verts ever could be. Like, I don't think we need Verts any more than we need Cherki or Rangers. Like, those two are easily, they are just as essential potentially. So we'll see. Also, obviously, there's some rumours about Everton and John Stones. I don't see that, really. I just don't think they have the money for Everton. That would be interesting. John Stones is going to leave, you guess. The problem with John Stones is, I feel like he's already ready for MLS football or something like that. He might not want to, but, just go and get that bag, Stonesy. Go and, rest somewhere and play a little bit less. I just don't think he's got the fitness to play regularly for Manchester City or in the Premier League anymore. I hope I'm wrong there, but he's rarely available. Just go and get the money somewhere, man, and just take it easy, because I feel like he's already there with his body and all that kind of stuff. It's just sort of breaking down a little bit on him. By the way, 625 people watching. It's really, really appreciated. Please give the video a like. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get the likes up. Let's get to 300 likes. How's little Cassian doing? My son Cassian, he's beautiful, mate. Thank you very much for asking, Sarah. Yeah, he's great. Ruben's amazing with him, and we're smitten. Very tired. And suddenly dawning at all the people with 2 kids, you suddenly realise, oh shit, you can't do anything, can you? You are trapped until they grow up a bit. Like we are, genuinely just a little bit, yes, trapped. Stop spamming, by the way. If you keep spamming, well, I'm going to have to time you out, mate, for a minute, because it's very spammy. But yeah, you very much realise when you've got 2 kids, I don't think it's hard. No, it's not hard. Like, I've realised going from 0 to 1 way harder than 1 to 2 kids. Like 1 to 2 kids is easy, but it's just just realise our hands are always full. Exclusive Pepper spoken to Cherki, discuss the divine British cuisine, tropical Mount Weather, and how utterly shit United are. Here we pump soon. Exactly chaotic. Absolutely. I would definitely choose him to Greg's. The big Asda cafe across the road. Get him in the Arndale. We've got a massive super dry, mate. I've never seen anyone in that massive super dry. It's always there. I'm sure some of you wear super dry, but like the size of that shop, for the fact that no one's ever in it, is mental. We got a Lego store, mate. We've got the Ardnell food market, some good shit there. What did I think of the final last night? Honestly, lads, I didn't watch it. I was in bed very early because we were extremely tired in the newborn stage. I've seen some highlights. PSG are fantastic, buzzing for them. Buzzing for them because they got a young bunch of French players. Buzzing mainly for Enrique. I've actually said for years, some of you may remember that Enrique's been one of my favourite choices to replace Guardiola. I said this years ago. I've got the tweets from 5-6 years ago saying it. I think Enrique's a quality coach, incredibly likeable, plays really good football. He's progressive. Just one of the most Guardiola-y things, managers available, really. And he already succeeded Guardiola and arguably played even better football at times than Guardiola with the Messi, Suarez, Neymar. It was ridiculous. It was cinema. So, he's already proved he can handle a succession if you give him the right players. So, yeah, Enrique's brilliant, and maybe he'll be available in 2 years. Confirmed Cherki will be taking the tour of Stretford Arndale. Look, I was in Stretford Arndale every single week as a kid, man, because I'm from Urmston, Stretford, East Shoe Way. And, like, my nan and my dad, one of them would always be in the Stretford Arndale weekend, and I'd be dragged along, going past, what's it called? Street Sports. What's it called? The street. Oh, do you remember the one on the corner on the left, in the centre where the cafe used to be, and opposite Woolworths, the little sports shop. And I just doing there all the time. There must be someone who remembers him from Stretford in the chat. Running up and down as well. TJ Hughes and going up the top. Streetwise Sports. That was the one. Boom. I've not been recently. I think it break my heart. Chaotic. Streetwise Sports, that was it. Streetwise Sports in the corner. Thank you, not your business. Streetwise Sports, man. There we go. And then the McDonald's was when you go straight down at the end, wasn't it? On the left, McDonald's. I remember that. Good times. And then that was opposite the market and the strip Stretford Arndale. Loved it. Guys, I'm going to leave the video here anyway. Rayan Cherki is going to be a City player. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. I think it's almost certainly going to happen unless something crazy happens. I think he wants City. I think Guardiola wants him, Guardiola wanting him, by the way, and I do believe the rumours that Guardiola does want him, is that cinema, man. If Guardiola wants Cherki and he's got to give him the keys, he's giving him... it's called Stretford Mall now. Jesus, it's the Arndale, you dicks. Don't call it Stretford Mall. Ugh. Breaking Pep sends people heart emojis to Cherki's Insta. Yeah, look, if he does want him, ridiculous. How do we solve the homegrown content? Homegrown problem? I'm not sure, Olivia. No idea, mate. Absolutely no idea. I mean, gibbs-white was going to be one of them. We will see. We will see, indeed. Thank you very much, Josh. It's very kind. Guys, I've enjoyed this video of you. Thank you very much for watching this. I'll see you all soon. Give the video a like, and I'll probably almost certainly be live tomorrow for another video. Up the Blues. Bye-bye. Here's to some signings.